Hey, legendary human beings. I'm just going to run you through a really easy set of tips that you can use every single day in order to boost your sleep. One of the biggest things that people come to us with, we coach a lot of guys who are business owners, entrepreneurs, sales guys, people who are in higher risk, higher stress jobs. And one of the biggest things we see is a lot of dudes don't sleep well. And it makes sense, right? Because if you look at what we need to do whenever we need to sleep is we need to wind down, we need to activate that parasympathetic nervous system. But when you're stressed and your mind is focused on numbers and employees and deals and all this sort of stuff, and you're worried about either not making a lot of money or potentially missing out on deals, or even worse, losing money, it's a little bit stressful and it can keep our mind going. And whenever our mind keeps going, it's very difficult to get to sleep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through a couple of really easy tips that I use every single day in order to maximize my sleep and make sure that I'm sleeping much more effectively, not just longer, but more. One of the big things that people always screw up about sleep is they always talk about how you need to sleep more. Well, it's not the case, because here's the thing. There's good sleep and there's crap sleep. Have you ever slept like 8 or 10 hours before and you wake up feeling like you've hardly slept, or maybe you woke up like 5-10 times throughout the night and it's just a really crappy night? It's not about the total amount of time of sleep that you get. It's about the quality as well. Speaking in really simple terms, there are 3 different types of sleep. The first is light sleep. Light sleep is just very light sleep, as it would be called. The second is deep sleep. Deep is like a restorative phase of sleep. It's where we physically recover our muscles, our organs, joints, all that sort of stuff. That's when they're recovering. And the third thing is REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. You've probably heard of this one before. And that's when our brain recovers and all of our learning starts to take place. What we want to do is we want to optimize for all 3 of these. We need a little bit of all. Now, the most common thing that we'll see whenever we're coaching someone, we track their biometric devices, things like Oura rings or Whoop bands, stuff like that, is that we'll see a lot of guys will have frequent wake-ups throughout the night and high amounts of light sleep, but very little deep in REM. What we want to do is we want to optimize our amounts of deep in REM. We like to look for about 3 hours of deep in REM. How do we come to that number? Well, that's just what we saw in our guys who felt the best, who reported they felt really good and also got the best body composition results, as well as also the best results in the program in terms of all the other areas that we measure, things like relationships, sex status, like all that sort of stuff. Like your sex life and whatnot. And so what we like to look for is, as I said, 3 hours of deep and REM sleep combined, and then you can have as much light as what you want. If you get those 3 hours, then you're generally going to be pretty good. Now, in order to get 3 hours of deep and REM, you need to do a few things differently. The first thing is you need to shut off before bed. If your head is still going, you're not going to get into it. Here's why. I'll give you an example with REM. If you want to get into REM sleep, you need to have a reduced amount of norepinephrine or noradrenaline, which is like the nervous system version of adrenaline, in your brain. You need to have lowered amounts of that, and you need to have increased amounts of acetylcholine. Now, if we're stressed and we're running around our brains, thinking a lot, we'll generally have increased amounts of norepinephrine. So what this will do is it'll stop us from being able to get into REM. At the same time with deep sleep, if our brain is still going, if our body is still going, if we're still thinking, we're still active, our body temperature is higher because maybe we've just eaten or something like that's going on, it's going to prevent us from getting into deep sleep. Here's what we need to do. Step number 1, we need to practice deep breathing before we go to bed. Make sure that you practice deep breathing, actually not just before bed, but throughout the day as well. What this will do, this will calm our nervous system, calm our body down, and allow us to drift off into a much better sleep. Step number 2, get more sun. You'll notice in a lot of my videos, I'm shirtless and I'm outside, I'm doing stuff. I'm always outside. I look to maximize my sunlight. My office is literally just up there, so I get sunlight coming into there every single day. The reason I do this is because sunlight has so many benefits. The world has demonized sunlight for so long, and they've told us that we're going to get skin cancers if you go out in the sun, and you need to always wear sunblock, minimize your sun exposure, all that sort of stuff. And I think that there's definitely a point. You need to be careful about getting melanoma, particularly here in Australia where the sun is very strong. But there are ways where we can get our sun in sensibly in a manner which benefits us and doesn't harm us. So what we need to do is we need to have continuous low dose exposure, small amounts of sun continually, not getting burned, and making sure that we go and get our skin checked regularly, because there are so many benefits to getting the sun, being sleep improvements being one of the best ones for that. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we supplement appropriately before bed. Now, I'm always a big fan of supplementing, but supplementing correctly. When I say supplementing correctly, that means that we need to make sure that we're taking the right supplements at the right time once we've nailed the basics. So if you're doing your breath work, if you're doing meditation, if you're getting out in the sun and you're still not sleeping well, this is where we add in supplements. Things like GABA brilliant, theanine, 5-HTP, lion's mane, reishi, they're all absolutely phenomenal. My two favorites out of that are definitely reishi and lion's mane. The reason why I like these is they're both mushroom extracts. They're the most natural out of the whole lot. But at the same time, I see that we get the best results with them. What reishi is something, it's like it's a mushroom which allows us to relax and calm down, and it just slows everything. You literally notice within 30 minutes to 45 minutes after taking reishi, a reishi extract, that you will have way more calm focus and you will be still energized, but very relaxed at the same time. It's very, very powerful. I'll take 3 mils of reishi per day. In terms of the actual potency of that, I get it from a guy called Harry Orr. He's one of our coaches at JCF. He makes it himself. And I highly recommend getting it from him because it's the best stuff that I've ever had in my life. And I've had a lot of mushroom extracts. Life Cycle is also very, very good. They're amazing quality, brilliant. They're just created just down in Byron Bay in Australia. So yeah, reishi extracts are amazing. 3 mils of that a day is going to be amazing. Lion's mane, the same thing. 3, 4, 5 mils of that per day is absolutely wonderful. The cool thing about lion's mane is that not only does it boost your energy and your focus, it doesn't boost your energy as such. It doesn't make you feel like you've had a coffee. I've heard people talking about lion's mane. They say, "Oh wow, I had it and I felt amazing." It's like, no, that's anyone who says that's talking. Right? What actually happens when you're having lion's mane is you'll become more focused, subtly more focused. But the coolest part is that if you have enough, you'll actually stimulate nerve growth within your brain, and then your REM sleep will get substantially better, your learning will get substantially better, and you'll just feel very, very calm all at the same time. And the final thing that I'd really recommend that you guys do is have more sex, get more loving. A lot of the time when we get super busy and super success focused, we forget to have fun and we forget the is awesome. I know I'm going to sound like a massive weirdo because nobody talks about this, but everybody does it. We all need to have sex, right? We all need to do it. It is important. I recommend all of my guys have sex at least 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. Ideally, every single day. The more loving we get, particularly when it's quality loving with somebody that you really care about, it's amazing for your sleep. You'll just feel far more relaxed, far more calm. And you'll notice a common theme throughout this. If we want to improve sleep, we need to reduce stress. The more that we can do this, the more that we can reduce stress, control our body, look after our nervous system, the better our sleep will be. I hope that this video has helped you guys. If it has, make sure you click like and subscribe to this. And also leave a comment below if you want to learn anything more, you want me to cover anything else for you guys. I'm happy to hook you up with whatever you need in order to dominate your life. Speak to you soon.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got something out of it and you want to learn more, click the link below or type in High Performance Conversations with James Cant and you'll be able to check out all the podcasts that we've done. We cover a stack of different topics, everything from getting your mojo back, overcoming anxiety, self-doubt, self-esteem, and learning from some of the industries and some of the world's top performers in both business and in health. Look forward to having you on there.